Hey guys, welcome back. Better Than a Let's Play Season 2, Episode 36. I'm Enigmius, and today we're doing a bit of a mod spotlight, a mini mod spotlight. We're talking about enhanced portals. The reason we're talking about enhanced portals is because so much of what I've been doing lately involves gathering materials from remote places, and it's always nice to be able to get to and from those places quickly, especially when they're in alternate dimensions. Now, Enhanced Portals comes with the Yogscast Complete mod pack. It's not the only way to get around quickly within the mod pack, but it's the one that I looked at. There's a ton of documentation, text-based documentation. Unfortunately, it's not clear. So full marks for effort and trying to get all this information across. But for someone who just wants to build portals that'll take them from point A to point B as simply as possible, a little bit verbose. So we're going to try and break it down into something that's a little bit more user-friendly, so that if you want to use this mod, you can hit the ground running with a clear understanding of the basics. Now, don't be dismayed by this tower of glass and lava. Those are heat generators from Mechanism that are producing the power necessary for me to keep my portals open. And I found out actually when I just added my third portal to the network that I outstripped my ability to keep the portals open beyond a certain amount of times. I have to be careful. I have to be quick when I activate the portal to go through and not waste a bunch of time thinking everything's going to be fine. Whatever power plant you're using to run whatever you're running, you're going to need some extra power capacity if you want to set up a portal system. It's not a huge deal. These are not efficient power generators, it's just their passive power generators. Once you've got them set up, you don't ever have to worry about fueling them, which is why I chose them, so that I could locate them here and not have to worry about power generation systems all over my facility. So the first thing that we need to look at for the portal system is the Dimensional Bridge Stabilizer, which is basically the power plant that keeps your portals going, or more specifically, the power teleporter, I guess. You're generating power over here, you're feeding that power into this guy, and then this guy is powering your portals. You can see it's a multi-block structure. There's a little bit of a graphical glitch right there in the middle. I don't know why, it doesn't matter. This is currently a 2 deep by 3 wide by 3 high multi-block structure. The minimum size for one of these is 2 deep by 3 wide by 2 high. And then for each row you add above that, you can connect an extra portal. So this setup here with just the default minimum size will allow you to connect 2 portals to this guy, and it will power them. If you want to connect 3 portals, you have to add another layer. If you want to connect 4, you have to add another layer. And because we're already at 3 and we're connecting another portal to our system, that's what we're going to do, add another layer. So these Dimensional Bridge Stabilizers, probably the most expensive blocks by unit for this entire system. To get enough to add a single row, you need a diamond, 4 ender pearls, and 4 blocks of iron. To get up and running with this system, because the minimum size is 2 rows, you have to make 2 of these. So 2 diamonds, 8 ender pearls, 8 blocks of iron. Right? Not cheap, but not horrible, and that will get you started with the 2 by 3 by 2, and then you make that recipe once for every row that you want to add. So here we are, we're going to add this row, and you'll notice that it's not doing anything. Those blocks are just sitting on top of these blocks. They're going to stay that way until you get one of these wrenches. This is the Enhanced Portals wrench. It's not expensive, nether quartz and 3 iron ingots. You're going to be farming a lot of nether quartz if you want to make a lot of portals. And then you just right click. Oh, we got to right click on the unlinked blocks. There we go. Now it's merged into a 2 by 3 by 4 multi-block structure that will hold up to 60,000 RF worth of energy, and is, in addition to providing the energy to our portals to keep them open, this is very, very important. It's also used to imprint location cards so that you can link your portals to this energy supply. If you don't do that, the portal doesn't work. So these location cards, we'll just take a look. They're not difficult to make at all. Paper, iron, and blue dye or lapis or whatever blue you have that works. We'll make 16 of these. So not difficult at all. You take one of them you take this guy here, you put it in this slot down at the bottom, and now it says location set. So what that tells you is that this guy is ready to go into a new portal, and it will link that portal to this dimensional stabilizer so that it gets power and the portal will work. Now, this is actually an existing portal that I made. This was the first one that I made, obviously, because it's next to my home base. And currently, I can use it to get to... Bring up the map. The map? Yeah, the map will let us bring it up. You can see we're talking distance here. Much distance. Great distance all the way over to here. And I think right about here is where I have a portal set up so that I can farm Blizz mobs for Blizz rods to make Blizz powder for cryotheum for our nuclear reactor. That's one of the things that got me started on this whole thing. It took me so long to find the right biome. Just a snowy biome doesn't cut it. It's got to be frozen, which means you're walking around on blocks of snow, and the leaves are made out of ice. That's the thing. It has to be, and you can see it's not close to our home base. It was quite a ways away, so that was handy. More importantly, it allowed us to get to the end. We can click on it. It will bring up the thing that we saved. We've already saved this destination. We go dial. The teleporter opens. And voila, here we are in the end. I've already killed the Ender Dragon. I wasn't clear on whether or not I would need another dimensional bridge stabilizer, so I brought everything I needed to make one. I even brought a tank of lava and built another tower of heat generators to power it. Found out I didn't need it, which is fine. But yeah, we're here in the end. So we can farm Endermen, we can farm Ender Lilies, we can farm the Ender Ores. You can see all the pits and stuff from where I was running around gathering ores. And then we can return home. Which is fantastic. So actually, can we terminate this now? Yeah, terminate. I hear the babby. Little diaper babby chasing me around. So that's all well and good. I've shown you how to set up the dimensional bridge stabilizer, how to imprint the cards, and now it would make sense if we took a look at how to build each portal and get it up and running so that it's very, very straightforward and very, very easy when you go to do this for yourself. So we're going to fly northward to where I have my salination plants, because it's not that far away, but why not? Why not have a quick and easy way to get there if we decide that we want to start fine-tuning our brine production? We'll be able to do that. We're losing altitude too fast. But there's taint also. A lot of taint by my salination plants down here, and it's bothering me. It troubles me greatly. Look at this. I was here the other day trying to clear some of it out, and it's back worse than before. So we got a spider trying to get mouthy. So here are our salination plants. You can see we've got 4 of them. Go big or go home. And we want to set up a portal so that we can get to and from fairly easily. So there's nothing complicated about that. The nice thing about the portal system is that you can make your portals any size you want, really. There was a little bit of ambiguity in the wikis that I read about what you would need if you wanted to make one larger than the standard nether portal size. I would say if you want to make it larger than the standard nether portal size and it doesn't work, check out the wiki. I think it might have been outdated information. I think now, with the version that we're using, it should be just fine. So these are all just portal frame blocks. There's nothing particularly magical or functional about them aside from the fact that they're necessary. Block of quartz, all the different variations of block of quartz. Like I said, you're going to be spending some time farming nether quartz to get the wrench to manage your stabilizer and all that other stuff. Anyways, 1 block of quartz, 8 iron, 4 stone makes 4 portal frames. Not only are these the blocks that I'm using to build the basics of the frame, they're the base for all the other blocks that you need for this system as well. One of which is the portal controller. which requires one portal frame block and a diamond, and then you get the portal controller. And the other one that I'm using is not quite so straightforward. You need a network interface and a diamond to make the dialing device that we use. The network interface is made with a portal frame and an ender pearl. So for your dialing device, you start with a portal frame and an ender pearl, makes your network interface, and then you combine it with a diamond to make your dialing device. Nothing particularly crazy. This gives us a little bit more freedom in terms of where we want the portals to connect to and how they're going to work. So then the portal controller has to be a part of the frame somewhere. Just like another portal, you don't have to have the corner blocks, but you do have to have the portal controller in the frame somewhere. Another thing, you'll notice when I put the controller there, it looks like all the other blocks. You can actually get some goggles. You can make some goggles, glasses, cyan dye, red dye, leather, glass panes, make these guys, and when you put them on, the different blocks will show up in the frame, which is handy so that when you're not using these blocks, you don't have to look at them. It's a prettier portal. But when you are wanting to mess around with things and get them to change how they're behaving, then you can put the goggles on and see exactly what you're doing. Because there are all kinds of other blocks that you can get. There are things that allow you to pass items, liquids, and energy, 3 different blocks, through the portals, easier than just like blopping them through the actual portal and hoping they stay there. So there's that. Not going to worry about that. Goggles, if you're having trouble remembering where you put stuff, you need to interact with things. Pretty straightforward. Dialing device has to be connected to the frame somewhere and within 5 blocks of the portal controller. So I just put it off to the side because that makes sense, makes me happy. Then we take the location card that we set with our stabilizer, our dimensional gate wormhole stabilizer thing. We right click and you see success portal initialized. He probably wouldn't have made it around to me, but I saw him, and it's just a bad idea to leave him sitting there. And then you right click with a wrench and it brings up this unique identifier. Click to modify. This is where you set up the codes for this particular portal. So if you're at another portal and you want to go to this portal, you would enter this particular code. And because we're in the desert and all of my portal codes have 5 symbols, I put 5 blaze thing powders. Because that works for me. Whatever you want to set up. If you want to do different symbols, you can do that. If you want to do just one symbol, that works too. The idea is that it has to be unique. You can't use the same one for all of your portals. So then we hit save, and it's done. That's our portal set up. So now we can go dial, what do we want to dial? Let's dial home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll add it, and we'll call it home. Accept. Then we go dial. It's receiving power from our dimensional stabilizer. It's coded to the right portal, and voila. We're back in the overworld. So really for the basics, for just getting point A to point B quickly and easily, very simple and straightforward. Like I say, tons of customization options, different modules you can add, different things that you can do. The wiki's got lots of information on that, but getting this basic bit set up was a little bit difficult to kind of glean the information in a way that made it simple and straightforward. So you make this guy 2 deep by 3 wide by 2 high, that's the minimum. Connect it to enough power to make it work. More power is better. 500 RF per tick minimum would be the goal that you would be aiming at. The more you add, the more power it needs to stay open. Then you make your little ID cards, your location cards. Make sure you have those so that you can imprint one of these guys and then you'll put it in one of these guys. Then you make your portal frames, your portal controller, and your dialing device. You assemble them all. Like I say, you don't have to have the corners. Once you've got it all assembled, you right click with the card, the location card that you got from your stabilizer, on the controller. Then you right click with the wrench to assign the address symbols for this particular portal, and then you're done. Then you can right-click on the dialing device, dial the place where you want to go to. Actually, let's close that for now, instead of just gobbling up all our power. Dial the location for the gate you want to travel to, hit dial, the portal opens, you step through, Bob's your uncle. That's all you need to worry about, that's all you need to know, that's all you need to do. Point A to point B. I haven't done a spotlight guide kind of thing like this in ages, so by all means leave your comments and feedback. Also, if you want to be notified when I add the next video in this series, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on the social media. The information for those is in the information section below. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.